change, a lot size change, I thought.
Oh, yeah, and a variance for a lot size.
Yeah, 1 acre to .06, I think it was.
Yep.
So Council, Hal Jensen, Planning Director, if you go to your findings, and I don't know what page that is on, you will find that there is one finding that is required for a variance extension, and that is the proposal for extension was or was not filed with the Planning and Development Council prior to the expiration date of the original variance. If it was not filed with us prior to, we would not have presented it to you for approval of extension.
Okay.
It's just the nature and how this particular item is written in the ordinance.
And we're having to do this because we didn't grant a longer variance.
Correct.
Is the reason why we're here so quick.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Vincent, the applicant, has had some items that he has been working diligently on relative to his plat, his final plat. However, due to items that he didn't have control over, our ordinance requires for a variance to take place within the 6 months. He has to have a permit issued, of which that did not happen. So as a formality, he's asking for a variance extension.
Okay.
Nothing has changed. No roadway changes, no drainage, no lot sizes, no setback. Everything is exactly as you originally deliberated last fall.
Okay. And it looks like it expired on May 15th, but he submitted his request on May 13th. So
Correct.
he beat the deadline. It's kind of pretty close there though. 2 days.
Yeah, there's missing a occasion. I didn't realize I had to file paperwork for an extension, so
No, you
we had to figure it out last minute.
That works. Okay. You guys have any discussion on this? We'll go straight to it. Okay.
We have a finding we have to answer though. Just
Yep.
the one, right?
Just the one, yeah. The proposal was filed by the Planning and Development Council with the Planning and Development Council prior to the expiration date of the original variance. And the original variance expired May 15th, 2024, and the applicant applied on May 13th, 2024.
That's it.
Pretty straightforward. So,
Do you want to do a motion or I can actually,
So a motion to approve the extension.
Yep,
variance extension.
Okay, let's,
it's right here.
that's what I need to read.
Yep.
Based on the record and the discussion this evening, I move to approve the request for variance extension for Jonathan Vincent as described in the application materials as supplemented with additional information attached in the staff report and to adopt the proposed findings in order for signature by the chair or vice chair.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Edward Fuller,
Yes.
Chad Salome,
Yes?
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
David Evans.
Yes.
Perfect. Motion carries. Quick and easy.
Welcome to your extension.
Can I go or do I just stay?
No, you're good.
Oh, you're done.
You're
Thanks,
good.
Jonathan.
Yep. Have a good one.
Okay, next agenda item. That's my agenda here.
So they print it out. So we got something done.
You going to close it?
It's an example.
Yeah.
You don't have to go word for word.
Preliminary plat approval
It's easier.
is the next
I saw
I'm not
business
smart enough to
item.
make that crap up.
Sorry.
Preliminary plat approval, We the People Estates. Jose Nava requests preliminary
Glad you made
plat approval for tax parcel RPR 4471005406. Okay, this one has a couple things that we gotta address. I know, but
As a moment of pause,
Yeah.
who was our motion
The
Chad.
motion was Chad.
and seconded?
I didn't.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Hal, do you present these business items?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just wait for a second till you're done with that. then.
Yeah.
You can invite Jose up to ask him any respective questions relative to any of the conditions that are placed, and we can discuss those.
The recommendations that you got on here?
Yes.
Okay.
Jose, do you have any concerns with the recommended conditions?
There's 3 of them in there. We can read them to you if you'd like.
Yeah, can you,
So that first condition, sorry, you okay with that, Stuart?
Yeah, go ahead.
The first condition is, the plat shall state R is restricted to preserve the natural drainage wetlands depicted in the legend.
Jose Nava, 1290 Mountain West Drive. Did I miss that on there?
Can you zoom out? Make it smaller. There we go.
So this is all the open space that we're talking about, right?
Correct.
And so we just gotta have that labeled on the final plat as an R, meaning it's restricted and that would be that.
The open space, doesn't mean it's, I guess the restrictions are for the 2 developable, buildable parcels there. And I don't see there being any,
Well,
is that correct?
the way it reads, no, your open space should be restricted
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
natural,
Right.
drainage and stuff like that, so.
Well, the reason I guess that I thought different was because it's open space and it's not being developed, it's not gonna be developed. So there's no reason for the restriction, because restriction is for, basically, in my thought process was for developable parcels that are gonna be built on. But I can change that on there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand your thought process, because open space is restricted by ordinance anyway.
Yeah, correct.
To me, it makes perfect sense.
But I think for legal purposes in the future, if someone got a hold of this plat and it didn't have it labeled on the plat,
If
then
for
there's
some
something that can be
reason-
contested.
If for some reason the definition of open space
That's
or
right.
whatever changed, or the use of open space changed in a future ordinance, I think that's the idea, is that it's clear, as of today, it's restricted because of this
Gotcha.
kind of a thing.
So you can add that to it.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
And then number 2 is road name shall be updated to Old Malad Highway, Old US Route, Highway Route 191, unless documentation is provided showing Devils Creek Road as the county approved name.
Does that mean we have 2 maps with 2 different names on them? Is that what we've got? Is that where that came from? Maybe?
Remotes are wrong.
What's the address of the parcel?
Do I know?
25,450 Old
Old
Line
Highway.
Highway.
Old Malad Highway is the official name, so. Devils Creek Road, which is on your map,
Oh, I see.
I get, is the question, like, where'd that name come from?
So Devil's Creek Road. Oh,
Hang on. Go back to the plat, please. Yeah, Old US Highway Route 191. So you have that on there.
Okay. Devil's Creek Road, I don't remember where exactly I got that from. I think I pulled it from Google Earth or something like that.
Okay.
So obviously, if you guys are requesting that, you've done the research and it is Malad Highway still, right there.
Correct.
Okay, so that needs to change then.
Okay.
Then the third one is a note shall be placed on the plat stating that access for lot 3 is restricted to be shared access easement. Lot 3.
To the
Is
shared.
it open space, lot 3?
Yeah.
It is.
Lot 3, okay. So, is that okay doing that too?
Shared.
You can do that?
Say that again?
It needs to be labeled, lot 3 is restricted to the shared access easement. So a note shall be placed on the plat stating that access for lot 3 is restricted to the shared access easement.
Okay, so does that mean that the access easement needs to go all the way back to,
Yes,
To lot 3.
to lot 3?
yes.
Okay,
This is the shared access easement, right?
correct.
Yeah, so it needs to be, I just touched it. Glad it didn't freak out on me. So it needs to come all the way to the back property line.
Those are the only 3 conditions. So you good with all 3 of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a comment, and I don't know if it's relevant at this point, but talking with Zach, or Zach Hill, I received an email from Zach Hill saying that he's the Downey Swan Lake
Fire.
highway. He was mentioning that he would actually, it's up there, but he said he would actually prefer 2 accesses. I don't know if that's still, that's kind of an issue with zoning instead of, I don't know if that.
So our subdivision, real quickly, our subdivision ordinance says that all lots will be served from an interior road. And that's why that recommendation was made to comply with ordinance as opposed to the highway district. You do have, well, yeah. And that's where that comes from.
So if they want to do something different, is that a variance request to do 2 approaches instead of 1, or is that not even possible in this case?
That's one that we would have to go down and research. I don't know that a variance would be allowed based upon the actual language of the black and white of the ordinance.
Okay.
But if you go down the road of researching it and you find a way for him to do that, it doesn't have to come back to us, it's something you would just change with him.
They would then go back and apply for a variance.
Okay, if it had to be done in a variance.
Yep. Yep. We don't have the enumerated powers within the council or
Yourself.
me and my team to grant that exception.
So for today, we're gonna have to just stay with the recommendation we currently got. And then if that's something you're gonna pursue, then that's something to take up with Hal this group, once you guys get down that path, right?
Correct.
Okay. So while you're still sitting here, Jose, is there anything else that we need, that had changed from concept to preliminary that we need to be aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, everything else,
Everything else.
it all looks the same to me, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay. Do we have any other questions for?
I just had a question about the lot 3, like the open space, and maybe I've missed something, or I don't know, but, so it has to be deeded open space, so who is that gonna be deeded? Is that into the homeowners association that you're creating?
It's part of the subdivision, and either lot 1 or lot 2, or, lot 3 can be sold by itself, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. So, it's really just a lot that can be farmed on and
Grazed
timber
on,
grazed
yeah.
on, but it can be
Can't be
built.
built.
That's a good question, cause I was
Well,
thinking the same thing.
I was thinking, so lot one, let's say, is deeded to that homeowner. And then lot two, the other homeowner, so now they don't have the 40 acres or which is an agricultural zone, right? Maybe I'm wrong or misunderstanding something, but, so then lot two stays with the 4.96 acres, a 5-acre lot, and then lot one has the whole open space deeded to them. That takes one of the lots out of the picture, am I complicating it, or?
Well,
they are-
it actually really doesn't matter because you've got 80 acres, which you have to have 40 acres in order to have the building lot. Because it's
One
ag
dwelling
zone.
per 40.
That's right. And so once it's deed restricted and the deed is now labeled as restricted, whether they sell the single lots and the guy who, if Jose
Okay.
owns lot 3, that's up to him, but it can't even be built on
Yep,
at all.
period.
And so from then on, whether he sells it to lot 1 or lot 2 is irrelevant.
Gotcha,
If
so,
he decides, out of the kindness of his heart, he wants to put a fence down the middle and let each of them have 40
40
acres to
acres.
graze on,
yeah,
that's up to him.
okay, okay. That's just, was my question, so, thank you.
We see a lot of these.
Thank you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions? You guys ready to go through findings?
Let's go through the findings.
Okay. Okay. Just make sure I'm on the right one. I guess I can't be on the wrong one, we just did the other one. Okay, number 1, the preliminary plat is in conformance with the Bannock County Planning and Development Council's approved concept plan, all applicable provisions of the Bannock County subdivision ordinance, other county codes and ordinances, and Idaho code. I think the preliminary plat hasn't changed since, the plat hasn't changed since concept, so it's in conformance with our approved concept plan. And if it wasn't in conformance with other provisions in the subdivision ordinance, I don't think we'd see it tonight.
Agreed.
Anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay. You let me know if I'm going too fast, Hal.
Type a couple items here that
It was pretty good, so fast.
There's a button right on the side.
There you go. That's fun.
You should be able to now. No, yours isn't showing up. That's 5782. Does it give you that?
Can I keep going?
This is an open space subdivision, has not changed from concept plan. It meets the requirements for density and open space requirements for the subdivision ordinance. Done.
Okay, number 2, the street plan for the proposed subdivision will permit its development in accordance with the Bannock County subdivision ordinance.
There is no street planned. Lots will be accessed off of Highway, Malad,
Old Malad Highway.
Old Malad Highway, Old US Highway Route 191.
You know, shared access easement.
Yep, with shared access easement.
Okay.
Okay, number 3. This one's a tough one.
I love these ones. I have an answer for you already.
Okay, the street plan for the proposed subdivision will permit the development of adjoining land by providing access to that land by right-of-way dedicated to the county or a developed street to the property boundary.
So I would just put access to all adjoining land will come off of Malad,
Old Malad
Old
Highway.
Malad Highway. Old US Highway Route 191. Because we don't have a street plan because of that reason. So therefore, we're not restricting any access to anything.
And we don't have a street plan because it's an open space subdivision with 2 buildable lots.
And a already owned, county-owned highway,
Yeah.
state-owned highway, whatever it is. Only one neighbor. Can't beat that.
No, and we're sisters.
We're sisters, so
Oh.
it's perfect.
It's a good thing you get along.
Right? We can lock our doors.
True.
Okay.
Okay, number 4, lot lines and roads do relate to land shapes and existing development. Well, there is
I
no
just say
other
it's-
development in
it's-
the area.
It's flat ground, lots are centered in the property, and there is no adjoining.
There's no job development. Yeah. Yep.
I'd say that's pretty flat ground. What do you gain, a foot across the 2 lots? What do you thought?
5 feet.
5 feet total, yeah.
Still pretty flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only conditions are the 3 recommendations, correct?
Correct.
And if how you can cut and paste those to the conditions, then we can, I'll just read them with the motion. Unless, David, you'd like to do the motion,
Is that the,
the example motion?
Example motion right there.
yeah, I can read it.
If you read that, then I can just help you out and read these 3 conditions.
That works. Based on the record and the discussions this evening, I move to approve the request for the preliminary plat of We the People Estates as described in the application materials as supplemented with additional information attached in the staff report and adopt the proposed findings and an order for signature by the chair or vice chair
With the following conditions.
with the following conditions.
So number 1, plat shall state the R is restricted to preserve natural drainage wetlands and depicted in legend. Number 2, road name shall be updated to Old Malad Highway, Old US Highway Route 191, unless documentation is provided showing Devils Creek Road as the county approved name. Number 3, a note shall be placed on the plat stating that access for the lot 3 is restricted to the shared access easement.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Edward Ulrich,
Yes,
Chad Selenite,
Yes?
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
David Evans.
Yes.
Motion carries. Perfect. Okay, you're good.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
not that I was going for the fastest hearing in our history, but
No,
I'm
that's-
not gonna complain.
29 minutes so far. Dang.
Better than that 3.5 hour last one.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready to move on, Hal.
Motion by Chad.
Motion by Chad, yeah.
No, motion by David.
David.
Oh, sorry.
Seconded by Chad.
Second by Chad,
Yes.
sorry.
Chad, EIT.
EIT, SELLENEIT.
Okay.
Items of interest.
I'd like to turn time over to Annie on items for upcoming hearing items.
So for the next upcoming hearing item would be,
Name and department, please.
sorry, Annie Williams, zoning planner. So there will be a right-of-way variance, a driveway variance, and a subdivision concept plan for 3 lots in Lava.
That's on our next meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Those are all public hearings.
We have no other announcements.
Okay. Perfect. And no citizen comment? Nice. Meeting adjourned.